Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for checking out another episode of Kenny's Record Collection. Today's episode is a really cool one. I recently acquired a very early copy of the first Black Sabbath album on Vertigo. Any of you other record collectors out there know that the Vertigo pressings for Black Sabbath, the first four albums, are really desirable. And I was finally able to acquire one through a trade from my new buddy Matt. Shout out to you. Thank you for getting in touch with me. And the Vertigo version of the first Black Sabbath album is quite different than the actual American version. This is the American version that most of you probably have. And it's just a regular sleeve, no gatefold. And the track listing lists all of the little nuances between the songs. For whatever reason, the Warner Brothers version, they decided to make up little names for all the little interludes. Like basically, what else do you have here? Wasp, which precedes Behind the Wall of Sleep. A Bit of Finger, which is before Sleeping Village. So they just really get into it with the tracks. So here is the Vertigo copy that I just acquired. This thing is in great condition. First heavy metal album ever made. And the Vertigo version was released about 4 months before the American version on Warner Brothers. See the back cover here? You see the artwork without anything over it. No song titles, no nothing. You have the pure cover. You could open it up. It's gatefold. You see that whole landscape, which is really cool to see. That creepy photo. That little building in the back still exists. It's somewhere in the UK. I'm not sure where, but I watched a video recently where they go and check it out. And here is the gatefold. Really cool. Look at that. Like I said, the American version does not have this gatefold. I believe there might have been a reissue that used this particular layout. But yeah, the original versions do not have this. Now, what's really interesting about this, they misspell Ozzy's name. Instead of Z's, they use S's. So O-S-S-I-E, Osbourne, O-S-B-O-U-R-N-E. And one way to know when we're talking Vertigo versions, if you look at the band members' names, it's all capital letters. Later versions, they decided to edit the way the names were laid out, and they used lowercase letters also. And it's just, a very interesting difference. So through my research, I've determined that this version is an early second pressing. The reason I could tell that too is there's some text down here which says copyright subsists in all Vertigo recordings. On the first pressing of this, it says copyright subsists in all stereo recordings. It's really, it's minutia, and it's a real nerd rabbit hole, but that's the way you could tell, because they had to redo that for whatever reason. It was, I guess, legalese, and it couldn't say in all stereo recordings. It had to say in all Vertigo recordings. Also, you have the cool Vertigo Swirl right there in the corner. There's the spine for you. Pretty cool. That's it with the cover. Now we'll go into the record, which is the really sought after Vertigo Swirl. People go crazy for these. I mean, this is my first. Here's the sleeve, the inner sleeve. Got that cool Vertigo logo, which they stopped really utilizing this only a couple of years after Sabbath was no longer signed to them. Let me show you. This is side B, which has all of the track listings. Might as well take it out. And here we have side A with that really cool swirl. You could tell if you watch it spin, it creates like an optical illusion. It's real, you know, kind of psychedelic. So let's go to the label. There are a couple of nuances that'll tell you if you have a first pressing or not. So on the first 3 issues of this, there's very identical numbers. But the layout of the numbers over here is going to be a little bit different. There are pictures on Discogs where you could really tell. You can match them up to see which version you have. And then down here, under the word Vertigo, on the first true pressing, it says a Philips record product right under this Vertigo. So if you have that, you know you have a true first pressing. The matrix numbers on a lot of the early pressings, I believe, are very similar too. So, and they're very hard to read. It's a stamped in matrix, and it's very hard to see what exactly the numbers and letters are. So, got that cool Vertigo logo. That's basically it. Very sought after. And you know, this is the first heavy metal record. And the earliest, well, this one isn't the earliest release, but the Vertigo version came out way before the American version. Like I said, February 2nd, 1970. And then the American version was June 1st, 1970. So, yeah, that's it. Let me know, what version do you have? Have you been able to find any Vertigo versions of this record, you know, in your hunts? I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear if you have a true first pressing. They're very hard to come by. As you know, like when it came out, Black Sabbath wasn't the biggest band in the world, so there weren't that many made. As they gained more and more traction, they started to press up more records, and you know, the more common versions are the later pressings. So yeah, if you can, leave me a comment, like this video, subscribe if you can, if you haven't subscribed already. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.